Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for another Transcend-ing Tarotcast. Bam, bam, bam. What do we have? What do we have? Five of Wands for the collective. Five of Wands is the card of... it almost represents fighting, but it's not a bad fighting. It's like when we're debating or when someone wants to be right but is still friendly, and it's like, I have this opinion and I have this opinion, and things get a little bit heated, but everyone's still friends with each other nevertheless. It's kind of this card. So we are on the self-sabotaging solving collective month, right? Or breaking free from the status quo. And last week we had this experience of bliss and what it could feel like. But, you know, to achieve that, because everyone has different opinions, it's normal that we might all go a little bit fiery on debate. And especially because we're in Aries season, aren't we? Yes. Are we still in Aries season? I think so, yes. So these, you know, fiery energies can come up, and we can start sparking all of these semi-debating, competitive exchange of opinions. But as long as we keep it all in good faith, it should actually be healthy for us, because then we can absorb other people's opinions and divert ourselves into other things as well. Aries, you got the Emperor. So we've been speaking about how you need to reflect this month a lot about how you create self-sabotaging behavior for yourself and what you can do to break free from it. And last week we spoke about the idea of you creating maybe too higher expectations and needing to bring those down a little bit. The Emperor is the divine masculine energy, right? So he is the structure. He creates the structure in which freedom can then blossom. And he is the giver. So when working out or reflecting on your self-sabotaging behavior, or how can you break free, we need to take in consideration this week. You need to take in consideration and really think about how you can create the structures in your life to allow you to have the freedom without falling back into the self-sabotaging behavior. And having those structures and having that place in which you can then start expressing that freedom will also help you to not create such big expectations on things that can disappoint you later. Because once you have that structure, then you're more sort of in a realistic, neutral energy. Taurus, the Magician. Yes. Okay, so what do we have? The start. You're in a month of healing. And as the collective, we are going through the self-sabotaging, break free from self-sabotaging behavior. What you really need to pay attention this month in this healing is how is your conditioning affecting your personal power, your personal motivation center, we all have this ability to create magic, which is when we understand who we truly are, when we are truly aligned with what we're meant to do, things seem like magic because they come with ease and flow, right? Because it is meant to be that. And when we're fighting against that natural ability of what we have and we're trying to do something else, then we block the magic. And it seems like it's magic, but it's not. It's just alignment, which looks to others like magic. So that's what we need to focus on this week, is understanding how you're blocking yourself from your own alignment and bring it back to balance. Gemini, Five of Pentacles. Oh, Gemini, you're not having a very nice month so far. Sorry about that. I feel you. So having the Lovers with the self-sabotaging behavior, it does indicate there are things you will be doing that sabotage your relationships, and including the relationship you have with yourself, including the person who you could be. You are sabotaging that relationship as well, and maybe doing things that are not good for you, which in turn affects your external relationships as well. And last week we had the Seven of Swords, which was about betrayal and suspicion and lack of trust in yourself. which then generates lack of trust of others in you or you in them. But it comes from the source of your lack of self-trust, right? The Five of Pentacles is another hard card because it really is connected to, it's connected to a sense of scarcity. It's basically, if we have to say one word about this card, it's scarcity. You're in a place of scarcity mentally, emotionally, physically, and everything leads you to this sort of feeling not worthy, feeling poor about yourself. So how can we shift this? Because this month we are meant to be breaking these cycles. We are meant to be breaking free from these cycles. So this week, how can you shift yourself from scarcity? Do everything you can. Put all your work into it. What's going on in that mind of yours? It's a beautiful mind that you have there, but why is it leading you to pessimism and negativity? Let's shift this. Let's come back to positivity. Cancer, the Lovers. So you have the High Priestess and you have the Knight of Pentacles. So we spoke about so far on what is it about your spiritual path that you might be creating, sabotaging within. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, we talked about you having to speed up things. Your need to wait to be ready is making you be too slow and you're not catching up with what's really happening. So you need to speed it up because you're never going to feel ready. No one ever does. And so the Lovers is really about finding how to make the right choices that you know will be loving and nurturing for you, which then will reflect in the external world and your relationships as well. So it's that divine union of your masculine and your feminine, and how these two energies, the structure and the flow working together, the giving and the receiving working together. How can we correlate this, right, with your spiritual path and make these choices to make sure that you are in time, you're not being left behind, okay? Leo, Knight of Wands. All right, what did we have? The Tower and the King of Pentacles. So we are in a month of hardcore destruction for you, especially when it comes to self-sabotaging. It's going to be a little bit brutal. And then we had the King of Pentacles, which was about looking into structures and how you can destroy the structures that don't serve you anymore so you can start building new structures. This week is about acting before thinking. When you go too fast, when you're going so fast, there's this, it's a passion which in itself is good, but if it's not contained, it's just going, you know, if you have a fire that goes too fast and is not contained, it's going to destroy the whole forest, right? So if you're doing that, it could be good for you to destroy the whole forest, considering we are in the Tower month. But what you need to understand is maybe that is exactly your self-sabotaging pattern that you need to stop, is the going too fast. Learn how to control that fire. Learn how to be on top of it in a way that you can express your passion, but you don't get consumed by it as well. Virgo, Seven of Swords. All right, Virgo. You have a deep month of inner work because you had death, and we spoke about the cocoon already. And in this death process, last week you were meant to go really into the subconscious and understand what's happening in the subconscious. Now this week you are being warned that there is something related to your sense of trust, your sense of suspicion, your sense of betrayal, these energies of who's behind me, who's going to stab knives in my back. These energies are there. They may be just from your mind. They may be that the lack of trust that you have creates the lack of trust mirror in the external world, which then brings you things, you know, the universe brings things to prove what you think about. So if you are in a place of lack of trust, then things are going to happen in the external world to prove that to you. So this week you really need to consider, how are you sabotaging yourself? How can you break free from this lack of trust, right? How can you build trust, self-trust up? Really focus on that this week. Libra, Knight of Pentacles. So you had the Empress and the Hermit. And so it was all about understanding how you sabotage your flow, how you could be really stopping yourself from living like a really flow and ease life by being like, things are too good. How do I ruin this to goodness kind of behavior, right? And then we had the Hermit, which was, right, you need to take yourself out of the equation so you can observe, so you can actually understand why you're having these behaviors. And the Knight of Pentacles is like, all right, do it step by step, take it slowly. This is not a rush process. It's deep work we are doing here, so you don't have to rush to conclusions. You can take your time, you can journal about it. In fact, do journal about it, and maybe there's something new that comes to your mind every day. You need to meditate on this and take it slowly, and surely you'll get your right answers. But don't try to figure it out too fast, because sometimes you need time to process what you're thinking to even understand what the message is. Scorpio, King of Pentacles. So we are in the Fool's Journey. We started the Fool's Journey this month, so we're starting something new. And then we had the Ace of Pentacles, which was supporting that and saying we're starting something new in the cycle, in the material realm, sorry. So the King of Pentacles, he's also a pentacle, right? So he belongs to, he's the like structure, the entire structure of the material realm. He represents the energy of that who is completely defined. He knows what he's doing. He is grounded to the core of his being. So that's kind of what needs to happen this week, is finding this structure that keeps you grounded to your core. So then these projects can start flourishing. And then we need to remember that we're going through the month of understanding self-sabotage. So this could be one of the topics for you, which is starting things and then not getting grounded enough to actually get them to fruition. So grounding this week. Sagittarius, the moon. Sagittarius, you're having a big month. You've only had major arcana so far. We have the universe, which means you are at the end of a cycle. And then the Hierophant, which I told you, you need to start learning, or you need to start understanding the lessons you learned and be your own teacher and start integrating those lessons that you've learned along the way. And maybe there is external teachers too right now. But the moon says we must dive into the subconscious. So this week, even though you're integrating these lessons, you are coming to the end of this cycle, you are freeing yourself from a lot of self-sabotaging behavior that you might have had in the past. But you need to go deep this week into the subconscious and see what's still there, what nuggets of self-sabotaging could still be in there that need to be released, observed, and integrated or released. Capricorn, the Hermit. All right, Capricorn, you had the Chariot. It was all about coming into your own independence and not letting the people around you, or not let yourself allow the people around you to sabotage your energy, and you have to come to a strong place of independence. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles, which is like, okay, we got to be patient with ourselves. We have to have a little bit of things take its time, and it's okay. And now we have the Hermit. You must take some time off this week to be by yourself. You must really remove yourself from the external world. Otherwise, you're not going to understand these patterns that we need to be breaking free from. It's time for observation. It's time for outside observation of the in, right? So forget about the details. Maybe there's a person here, maybe there's another person there, maybe there's something else here, right? And maybe when you're trying to piece all of this together, you're looking at them individually. Right now, you need to remove yourself and look at them as a whole scenario. Maybe they're not connected in life, but they are connected somehow in your energy magnetism, right? So that's what you need to be thinking about. Aquarius, Ace of Pentacles. So we had the Hermit for the month. So you're meant to be sort of bringing yourself out into understanding the big picture of what's going on regarding your self-sabotaging behavior and how you can break free, and especially being the innovative one out of the zodiac, where you're supposed to use your mind to get us all into this community, amazing, beautiful places. And then you had Temperance, which was about finding the list of the priorities that I told you to make. And the thing is, during this process seems to have led you to a new beginning, a new cycle that's going to come into the material world, into your physical plane. And how, you know, maybe this list of priorities suddenly freed you time or freed you something that means you can put your energy into better use. So something new is going to start. So that's really amazing. Well done. Pisces, the Hierophant. All right, you're having a big month. It's only been major arcana so far. You start with Justice, where we talked about the fairness and being fair with yourself and the people around you, and bringing some healing into understanding that when you are not being fair to other people, you're also not being fair to you, and you're hurting yourself as much as you're hurting them. So when you find this place of fairness, then everyone's a little bit happier, or at peace at least. That was the Justice and the World together, coming to concluding this cycle of not having this as a unit basically. And the Hierophant it represents institutions and everything that we have in society that comes with a sort of community, but teachings within community, right? So family unit is an institution, a church is an institution, a school is an institution. So everything in society that you learn from, whether it's your behavior, whether it's your conditioning, whether it's your spiritual beliefs. And so this week it's about focusing on what you can learn. So if you created this unity with the people that are around you by becoming more fair, now you come to a place where you can start learning from them and learning together to create better things, to break free from the old self-sabotaging conditioning and start something new. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you next week. Lots of love.